Hi, we are Walter and Zoniel. We are talking about lockdown and the effects that it's had on this project that we're in the middle of doing, A Simple Act of Wonder, and also the effects on our practice as a whole.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of creating Simple Act of Wonder, but also as artists we work on many different projects which can last for years and months in the planning, and so a lot of other projects got postponed, but because we're right in the middle of Simple Act of Wonder, we've been interviewing people since January, that it became very important for us to continue on. The only thing was the practicalities, so communicating with people became increasingly difficult. You know, we've had to adapt with Microsoft Teams and Zoom. Everyone knows this now, I'm sure you guys do. We had to look for different suppliers, so online suppliers who are still open, how long the deliveries were going to be, down to things like people going on furlough. So we'd be in the middle of something and then you have to adapt because someone's now gone on furlough, and then obviously we don't go on furlough because we're artists.
This is a project that has a lot of moving parts, and all of a sudden each of those individual elements became much more complicated. Then practically the things that we could actually do that haven't necessarily changed that much at all have been the work. So the artworks that we're creating for the exhibition, we have a series of portraits that we shot, and we're in the process of overpainting them for this new process that we've been working on, and like building them up and gilding them. So things like that. We were in the middle of moving studio when this happened, and so we had to set up a kind of makeshift studio space here at home because because we need a kind of clear space just to focus on that. And those elements we were able to continue doing, and that's something that really kind of we treasured in this context, because just that process of being able to create and actually finish something, whilst the rest of the project is so massive and has all these moving parts and has so much uncertainty that's been thrown into it, which uncertainty obviously, as everybody feels, is quite a big deal to kind of cope with, because you don't know, because we don't know. That's the nature of the beast. One thing that became really clear to us was the subject matter of the project was more magnified and really important to us in this context. It's about inspiration, it's about fun, it's about joy, and the fact that the piece is about connectivity and about community. And we realised that this celebration of a community in Brighton could also represent the celebration of community just as a whole, and how important that was for us to be able to create something that could potentially be of value in this context.
So things we've found that have been really helpful for us during this time is that we have a practice, we don't read the newspapers, we don't watch news on television, we haven't done for years. We find it helps us kind of create our own artistic vision of the world. We take information from different sources and form our own opinions. Newspapers are businesses and they have their own opinions. So do your friends and family. So so it's important this time just to stay positive and form your own opinions. We've also meditated for many years. Zoniel was a Buddhist nun, and she taught me to meditate. We meditate every day, and that's really been super helpful.
Yeah, meditation is something that's very much part of our art practice as well as our daily lives. We have integrated that very much into our art practice. We've made artworks that are meditations, that are kind of like practice performances that are about connecting people to artwork. But in this context, we realised that this is a really kind of precious thing as part of our own lives, and we wanted to be able to share that as much as possible with other people. So we have created meditations that are very short, because you don't have to do a very long meditation. You just maybe want something that kind of calms your mind or centers you effectively. So we've created these meditations and created an Instagram that's just for that. So if people want to kind of have these, they're free. They're something that you can kind of visually just download and mentally kind of like take yourself into a space that might be a bit calmer, might just be helpful. So that's
it's been really nice, people's comments and saying, wow, you know.
Yeah, because we live next to the sea, so we use the sea and the sky in these kind of visual meditations. So help yourself. And next time we're going to be talking about
Fabrica installation.
Yeah, the actual installation, how we're putting that together within.
How that's going. So
yes.
Stay tuned.
Stay well.